Hey everybody, this is Carl from Carl's Opinion. How you doing? And welcome to another Friday night edition of our live call-in slash video call show. And it's our Friday night wrap-up week. Just want to say hey to everybody. And we got a lot of stories to cover. As you notice, it's a live call-in show and also a video call-in show. And so if you want to appear by video call, just put in the chat and or just put in your email address and I'll shoot you a link, or send me an email to that email address you see there, ca2jogger@gmail.com, and I'll shoot you a link and you can appear side by side or with two other people or one other person and me and whatever you want to do. But hey, if you want to just call in, there's a call-in number, 775-273-8970. Happy to see all the moderators out there. Remember, we have zero tolerance on this site. Zero tolerance. When in doubt, take them out. If you make a mistake, I can always fix it later. No big deal. And my other favorite saying is, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. So, or also, shit happens. So, that's another good one. I just want to say hey to everybody in the chat room. I see Forbidden Information, CL, Sin Florida, Lee, Pure Imagination TV, Laura Sanders, Effie Real, Thomas Kellogg, Sean DeGraphic, Nonya, and let's see, Lynx, Thomas, and I saw some other people. I saw a douchebag in there earlier, and let's see, if I skip somebody, I do apologize. I see Mo is up in there, and let's see who else. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody who's joining us right now live, and for all those who will be joining us later after this uploads to YouTube and during the course of the week. So, 775-273-8970. It's one of those things where if you can't see it on the screen, get some glasses. I only have it I have it in two different places on the screen, and I have it in the ticker down below. So that also links it up. We got a phone call coming in. Why don't you please hold on, and let's shoot this over. President Trump, yay! Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl's Opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl's Opinion, and thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Yeah, Thomas, go ahead. All right, everybody, we got Thomas Kellogg on the air. So, Thomas, what you got? What's going on tonight, Thomas?
So, I would like to say how the Democrats want to say Trump's lying about everything when he's not. And also how we need border security. How these immigrants are coming in they're coming in major lines.
Yeah, no, they are. They're coming in. I mean, they're coming right across. I mean, there's really no stopping them. I mean, right now they're releasing. This is just what they're releasing: 1,000 migrant family members per day. So that's just what they're catching and releasing. That doesn't give all the numbers of all the people that get across. A lot of people actually make it across. It's not like we catch everybody. Not even close. So
yeah.
You had 365,000 a year just for that number. Then I guess you can double that, take two times that, another 720,000. Easy without even blinking an eye. That's at least 1 million right there. I'm sure it's more than that. I mean, it's probably closer to 1.5, probably closer to 2. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, we can't handle that kind of load.
No, we can't. And just like for that, and talk about that numbers. So with Medicaid for all, like the Democrats want to, I think that's what it is, right? Want to give everybody. Let's say put a country in debt. If we go out his free stuff out.
I'm sorry, what was that last part, Thomas? I missed it. I apologize.
About Medicaid for all, that's going to put our country in debt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, they're estimating it's going to cost, I think, $3.4 trillion with a T, $1 trillion per year. Our annual GDP, all the economic output we have in the entire country per year is only 20 trillion. So you're looking at, you're basically taking, a sixth of the economy, right out the door. I mean, 1/6 of the economy. I mean, that's a lot of that's.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of people working that are no longer going to have jobs. That's kind of crazy.
And people like you should be getting equally pay, and all the hard middle class workers. I mean, before Trump was in office, my dad told me his taxes were high, and he noticed a tax cut.
I'm sorry, what's the last part, Thomas? Before Trump was in office, your dad told you what? I'm sorry, sir.
He noticed a huge tax cut. Hello?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just got these new headphones, and I'm just not catching the last word is dropping off of my ear. So it's probably my headphones. I just got these new ones. The other ones they stopped working, so I had to just throw these on. These aren't as good as the other ones.
My dad noticed a huge tax cut.
He got a huge tax cut?
Yes.
Oh, good.
He
Okay.
has a business.
Would your dad have a small business or something?
Yes, and he lives in New York State. We live in New York State, the liberal state.
You live in the estate?
New York State, the liberal state.
Yeah, you live in the liberal state. I know I got that wrong. I know I did. Yeah. Okay. What did you actually say? Because you didn't say you live in the liberal state.
I said New York State. I actually did say liberal state.
Oh, New York State. New York State. You live in New York.
Now, what the thing is, see, this is proof. The Republicans upstate New York are voting. Okay, there's people, and mostly upstate New York is red, but the downstate is what voted Governor Cuomo in.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's New York City. We have the same. I live in Nevada. We have the same problem. Las Vegas votes Democrat, and the rest of the state votes Republican, and the Democrats win because Las Vegas has all the population. Yeah, we have the same problem here. Yeah.
It's not like California, where people think that it's all Democrats. It's different. And they want to get rid of meat here. They want to ban fur. They're banning bags next year. They want to ban processed meat, which I don't agree with.
They want to ban processed meat? They want to ban processed meat? There's a lot of people do. A lot of people work, making processed meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they do. And what about and they want to get rid of cows.
Well, no, I know. That's crazy too. That's crazy talk. I know.
Especially in New York State, people depend on cows for money.
No, I'm originally from New York. I'm originally from New York. My dad grew up on a farm in the Catskills, as a matter of fact.
Oh wow! I live like 10, 20 minutes from the Catskills.
Yeah, he grew up on a farm up there. We lived on Long Island, up in Suffolk County, Port Jeff area, and So
I live in Greene County.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha. No, there's a lot of Republicans in New York. It's just that they're always outvoted by the Democrats. That's why I always say, the Democrats always say.
Now,
go ahead.
A lot of people are saying even Democrats are fed up with Cuomo.
Well, he's gotten a little carried away with that abortion thing. I mean, it's one thing if they're going to pass an abortion law, but Jesus, you think they have to go around cheering about it like they, just won the lottery or something? I mean, that was a really disgusting part.
Oh my gosh, I'm tired of hearing. Oh, I'm turning 17 almost, and my teacher is such a liberal. She wants to shove this stuff down our throats.
Yeah, that happens, unfortunately, in academia, even at the high school and middle school level. For some reason, the kind of people who become teachers generally tend to be leftists. I guess it's just kind of the instinctive thing to go for a government, job, not to kind of be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So,
and then they complain about how much they don't get paid a lot. I thought they get paid a lot because my teacher rose up in a nice car.
Your teacher has a nice car. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much.
Like a Lincoln Navigator.
Oh, well, that's a really nice car. I don't know how much teachers make. I mean, generally they don't make very much, but maybe in New York, maybe they just overpay them in New York. That could be.
And she complains that she doesn't get paid enough.
Excuse me?
She has a beach house.
She always complains she doesn't get paid enough. Well,
I mean, she has a beach house.
Well, she's got a guaranteed paycheck, and she gets a couple months off every summer. So I mean, she probably shouldn't be complaining. But no, I mean, look, it's okay. It's okay to pay teachers a decent wage. Okay, teachers are important. Okay, the idea that the fact that you have the fact that you have a leftist teacher. I mean, look, when I was I went to Catholic high school. I went to a Jesuit school, and every teacher in there was a leftist. Okay, I mean, they just were. My economics teacher was a leftist. My history teacher was a leftist. My political science teachers, all of them were leftists. I mean, they were all liberals. This was the early '80s, and so these were all like guys coming out of the '70s. Our teachers, the late '60s, early '70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they were all like liberal, like not hippies, but pretty close. So I mean, but you just deal with it. I mean, as long as you recognize the bias.
Oh yes, I deal with it.
Yeah, just recognize the bias, and don't freak out too much about it. You'll be okay. I mean, you just got to read on your own.
I've had a pleasant conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yes, to read on your own stuff, right?
You said you have a private conversation with who? Who do you, what? I'm sorry, I missed that one.
No, a pleasant conversation. And I say, hey, this is all the stuff Trump's done.
You were telling your
teacher
this?
And I show everything he's done.
You were telling your teacher that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't penalize you if you add an opinion that's conservative. Yeah. What are you, a junior right now or a senior?
No. I'm a senior.
Senior? Oh, you're getting ready to graduate. So you going off to college, or what are you doing?
Oh no, I'm turning a senior next year.
Oh, you're a junior this year.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so I mean, okay. Well, you better have some plans already made up. I mean, are you going off to college, or what are you doing?
I am.
Going to college?
Gonna go to college for a newscaster.
What are you gonna study? What are you gonna study in school?
Conservative-based news service.
Oh, you're gonna go into broadcasting?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just went to the National Association of Broadcasters convention in Las Vegas. Like that was like, if you're into broadcasting, you would be in heaven. I mean, they took up the entire they took up the entire convention hall, which was huge. I mean, they took the whole thing up. It was just amazing.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm also going.
Definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out if you get a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, next year, it's every year it's in Las Vegas. If your folks can get you out here or something like that. If you're into broadcasting, every facet, every step along the way of broadcasting is there. Everything from lighting to audio, video, techniques, mixer board, all the different phone companies were there. All the different Behringer was there, Focusrite, Mackie, all the different lighting companies. I mean, everything from start to finish on broad. I took a class on outdoor live streaming, live events, and it was a really good class, like 6 hours long. It was really, really excellent.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was the Friday before the convention. And then the convention, they give you an app. If you're on your phone, you get an app, and you can map out all the different places you want to go to, different booths you want to go to talk to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then on the app, it's really nice. They give you a note section, so you can type in your questions ahead of time, so you can make the most use of your time. So then when you get there, you just pop up, your site you're at.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like this this is vMix, like you see like on the screen it says vMix video call. This is a software-based live streaming software, and then I got some hardware attached to it. I have a cell phone with an iRig device, a mixer board, and an audio interface as well. And even all the different companies that I buy stuff from were all there. It was totally cool. Yeah, but definitely if you want.
I'm going.
Yeah. So do you have a college picked out? Where are you going?
I'm going to go to Hudson Valley College and then go to another college. I'm going to try out Hudson Valley for a year.
So what's Hudson Valley, like a community college kind of thing, like a 2-year college?
Yeah, or maybe a SUNY college. I don't
Junior
know
college, yeah, junior, yeah. Well, no, that's not bad to go because you got to get your base. What do they call them? Guys, been so long since I'm in college. Your basic credits, like your general education credits, like you need like 60 semester credits of general education.
And
Yeah.
even kids that are disabled can actually go to Hudson Valley College.
Well, I mean, you can get. I went to a when I moved, we were kind of in between semesters and stuff, and I went to a community college for a semester, and I found some really good professors there.
Yeah.
I mean, I found some really good ones. These guys are really sharp. I mean, and they want to do a good job because they know the way to get to like a 4-year institution is to do a good job at the community college level, and they can then move up to like like a state university like in New York, State University in New York, or someplace else. So I mean, so they have to do a good job in order to get to the next level. And so you find some really good go-getters and stuff over there.
Oh yeah. Also, my teacher told me her daughter's in Georgetown University.
Your teacher told you what?
Her daughter's in Georgetown University.
Oh wow, that's an excellent school. Yeah, that's like one of the top schools in the country.
That's way too much money.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, you're gonna have to get some kind of a scholarship. You gotta get some really good grades and good SAT scores if you want to go to a school like that.
I know. No, I think my teacher literally is getting way too much money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, I don't know the specific situation of where you live and what New York pays for teachers. I have no idea. So, but
New York again, it's like teachers get high paid.
Well, hopefully they're doing a good job. I mean, I don't know. But I tell you what, man, let me let you go. Well, we got some other people calling in, wanting to call in.
One more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tomorrow I'm going to a Trump rally.
Oh, kick ass, man. Where? Up by where you live, or where are you going?
Actually, we took a flight to Minnesota today.
Excellent. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, I went to 2 Trump rallies. I went to both were in Vegas. One was during the campaign, and one was during the 2018 midterms. Oh, a lot of fun. Everybody there is really cool. It's kind of a party kind of atmosphere. Everybody's like all kind of just really down with the cause, and he's a great speaker. So he's a lot of fun. He'll ad lib. You see it on TV. He's the same way in person as he is on TV. So yeah, you'll have a great time, man.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, have a great time, and yell out some good stuff there. Okay.
Yeah. Bye. Nice
all right.
talking to you.
All right. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
All right. That was the great Thomas Kellogg, and that was a really cool phone call. Yeah, you're right, forbidden information for a 16, 17-year-old kid. Yeah, he's a pretty sharp kid, without a doubt. So that was a really nice call. But yeah, it's good to hear from young people, and they see that they're down with President Trump and free market economics and things like that. And the kid already knows, Medicare for all is way too expensive. Again, $3.4 trillion for for what? What are we getting for it? I mean, if you ever deal with a government office, whether it's like DMV or like a county clerk's office or something like that, those are the people that are going to be like sitting in the cubicles when you call and you have a question or moving your paper around. Those people, okay, you can't fire them, you can't get rid of them. That's why Trump had to do that big overhaul with the VA where you can finally start firing people. But most federal workers you can't fire. You got to go through all these things, and it's a big hassle. So there's no accountability. So they can sit there, goof off, not get their work done, and they can't get fired. And those are the people who would be literally running on the ground level, government-run healthcare. So, yeah, Thomas, that was definitely a good call. It's totally great that you called in, man. Totally appreciate it. Anytime you want to call back in, I got your number down, so I'll put you in as a contact. So the next time you call, I'll know it's you. So I'll add that in after the show. But yeah, anytime you want to call in, man, definitely feel free. Totally good. But I got some stories here. If you noticed in the title of this one, I called it Trump, obviously Trump 2020. Yay, Trump 2020. Yeah, Trump 2020. But anyway, President Obama says no to Biden. So anyway, let's grab that story here. Let's see what we got here. All right, here we go. Biden claims he didn't want Obama to endorse triggers mockery. Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, that's a joke. The idea that you would go. Ben Shapiro made a couple of jokes about it, but the idea that you would go to you would not go to the most popular Democrat in modern times and ask him for an endorsement or put feelers out. Have your people talk to his people, say, hey, you don't want to do something public. Hey, it's like asking somebody to marry you, on TV, and they say no. So obviously the feelers were put out. Politico reported a few months ago that he was very upset about the fact that Obama wasn't endorsing him, that he was meeting with Beto O'Rourke and everybody else, and he kind of felt like Obama owed him, like, hey, I'm your vice president, and that's how it works. The president's supposed to endorse the vice president. Eisenhower endorsed Nixon; he didn't campaign for him. Obviously, Reagan endorsed Bush, early on, the Bush Senior, the old man. So I mean, it's kind of the way it's supposed to go. But Obama, I think, just has a problem with Biden. He did a lot to change, literally the face of the Democratic Party. And the last thing I think he wants to do is, especially when you have, Kamala Harris running and Cory Booker running, is endorse an old white man to get the nomination. I think he wanted his party to change from that, and a lot of people in the Democratic Party wanted to change from that. And the last thing he's going to come out and do is endorse, an old white guy. I just think that's where the party is right now. You're hearing it right now. The Justice Democrats are totally against Biden running. Justice Democrats, that's Cenk Uygur, that's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her ilk. That's a whole lot of left, the leftist money. They basically, they want, and I think even the person Biden hired, I think Mark Dice did a video on that this morning. He showed, the African American woman that he hired, was saying before, we don't want any more, white men running the party. We got a call coming in. Just, you want to hold on a sec? Let's check this out. Again, this is Carl from Carl's Opinions. Please stand by while we work up some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And we'll get back with more Trump 2020. And good luck, President Trump. Yay. Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion. And thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Carl from Carl's Opinions. Please stand by while we work up some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And we'll get back with more Trump 2020. And good luck, President Trump. Yay. Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion. And thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Carl from Carl's Opinions. Please stand by while we work up some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And we'll get back with more Trump 2020. And good luck, President Trump. Yay. Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion. And thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Carl from Carl's Opinions. Please stand by while we work up some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And we'll get back with more Trump 2020. and good luck, President Trump. Yay! Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl's opinion, and thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we'll get back with more Trump 2020, and good luck, President Trump. Yay! Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl's opinion, and thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work up some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we'll get back with more Trump 2020, and good luck, President Trump. Yay! Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl's opinion, and thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work up some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we'll get back with more Trump 2020, and good luck, President Trump. Yay! Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand by while we work out some technical issues with the panel and the caller. We'll be right back. This is Carl's opinion, and thank you guys for joining the show tonight, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work up some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and we'll get back with more Trump 2020, and good luck, President Trump. Yay! Let's not get complacent, people. Get out there and start working. Start working now. 2020 is right around the corner. This is Carl's opinion. Please stand by while we work out some technical issues with the caller and the panel. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, just stand. Hey everybody, I'm back, and we'll get Jack's conversation on the air with us in just a few moments. And I want to thank everybody. Hope you enjoyed watching the zombie as much as I enjoyed recording him. That guy actually came into my house one night, and I filmed him. It was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and she heard that I was talking bad about her on the air, and so then she ended up showing up at my house, and I videotaped it with my phone, and then I used it here on this video here. So, but anyway, I just want to thank everybody for waiting patiently. So, again, the phone lines are open if you want to call in. The phone number is area code 775-273-8970. Again, my bumper audio is skipping at the beginning of the loop 3 times to be exact. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to fix that there. Yeah, it's what I did. Yeah, what I did, Effie, on that, I looped it too quick. I should have let the music play out a little bit longer and let the audio play out a little bit longer with that. Instead of like looping it that fast, I should have just looped it. I should have let it run out for like about 10 minutes and then looped it back after that. But yeah, hey, it happens. Let's see, links and FE. But anyway, phone lines are open. If you want to appear by Forbidden, I see you wanted to call in. Feel free to go in and call in. If you want to appear by video call, I can put you on video call. Hello? Hey. Oh, that might help. Oh, there we go. Too loud. All right. So that was a weird experience. Is this hello? Oh. Anyway, can people hear me? Because for some reason I'm not hearing myself in my headset here. Hold on. I think you just got a bad connection here. All right. So yeah, I'm assuming I'm being heard. So I'm going to change headsets because this one is kind of skipping out. Okay. Hold on. Hello. Okay, that's better. Now I can hear myself. Okay. Yeah. No, my headset was clicking off and on, so it sounded like. Oh, let me fix this. Yeah, my headset was clicking on and off, so it sounded like I wasn't sending any audio out. But then I looked and I saw that the green light was going up and I was sending audio out. But yeah, it was kind of right away. I think you panic. You think, oh shit, nobody's hearing me. But yeah, I guess everybody was, and yeah, the green light was going up and showing that I was in fact transmitting. It's just the headset was jacked up. But anyway, wonderful stuff. But anyway, so I don't have anything to say or ask right yet. Nonya with nothing to say. Effie, call in. I don't know whoever, but anyway, yeah. But anyway, let me get to the story I got up here. Let me let me cover this real quick. So let me just jump over here. Get the right thing here. All right. So Biden's claim he didn't want Obama to endorse triggers mockery. Okay, let's check this out. All right. So here we go. Former Vice President Joe Biden's claim that he refused his former running mate's endorsement sparked a slew of skepticism on social media. Uh, of course it did. President Obama has remained silent as the field of Democrats has grown over the past several months and stays silent as Biden entered the race Thursday. Now, again, I want to say it was Politico. I might be wrong. I can't remember what outlet, but it was a liberal outlet that reported a few months ago that Biden was upset because Obama was refusing to endorse him for the nomination. Remember Biden was saying, "I'm not going to run unless I know I can win," and they were putting, and it sounds like that even there, as was being reported, and even as Biden kind of flubbed that answer when he got asked the question, how come the president hasn't endorsed you? And then he said, "Well, I asked him not to endorse," and then he kind of mumbled something about, "Well, Obama says he wants the candidate, to run on its own," and blah blah blah. So either, the answer itself kind of gave away the truth because either he never asked President Obama for the endorsement, or President Obama told him, or his people told him, well, I want each candidate to stand on their own, and I want the best candidate to win, so we have the best chance in the general election. And the primary race helped me against Hillary Clinton, made me a better general election candidate against John McCain. So either he asked him and he got that answer, or he, didn't ask him, and what, Obama just volunteered it to him? So, called him up and said, hey, I'm not going to. No, of course that didn't happen. So, of course, he asked him, and that's the answer he got. It basically meant a big no. And again, I said this before. I think Obama was wanting the party to move away from the old white men running it. Again, Biden's, according to the Mark Dice's show this morning, showed the woman he hired, African American woman, saying we don't need white men running the Democratic Party anymore. But I guess Biden's had a big paycheck. I mean, his campaign, for all, you can say what you want about the guy, but the guy knows how to raise money. Yeah, I think they raised, it was some big number, whatever it was. It was a lot. It was like $6.3 million, like in 24 hours or something like. It was some big number, whatever it was. Maybe it was 63 million. I don't think it was 63 million, but it was a big number. Basically, the number, whatever number it was, as soon as he announced, it was more than any of the other candidates got within their first 24 hours, including Bernie Sanders. So I think maybe it was 6.3 million. And remember, there was an article I covered maybe a month ago. We talked about here on the site, where it showed a lot of donors were kind of sitting on the sidelines. Old school Democrats. The ones that are not jumping up and down about the Ocasio-Cortezes, the Buttigieg, and all these kind of leftist people trying to race to the left. The kind of center left people, the kind of people with money that, excuse me, they give money because they want to make sure that person they're giving money to is actually going to not just win the nomination, but that could win the general election. In other words, they don't want another McGovern, situation, another Walter Mondale situation, another Dukakis situation. They don't want that. I mean, Hillary Clinton, yeah, she lost, but she gave it a fight. It wasn't a blowout. So these people aren't looking to nominate somebody on the left who's talking about the Green New Deal, Medicare for all, reparations, those kind of things, because they know those are pure loser issues. The American public, regardless of what the people who vote in the Democratic primaries say, the American public are not behind those ideas. They may sound good, but as soon as you tell the American people how much they're going to cost, they all kind of run away from it. They say, "Whoa, hey, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense." The Green New Deal is going to cost trillions of dollars, way more than we make in GDP. We're just about as much as we make on GDP per year, which is $20 trillion. And, Medicare for all, that's $3.5 trillion. And there's no way to pay for it. You can tax everybody in the 1%, 75% tax rate, and that's not going to get you where you need to be. It just isn't. I mean, so eventually you'd have to raise on where the bulk of the money comes from, to wit the middle class. That's where the bulk of the money, tax revenues come from, is the middle class, and you have to raise their taxes. And then when you start explaining that to the people, which is what we need to do, is like say, hey, there's a cost to this, and you're going to have to pay higher taxes. People say, wait, that sounds kind of stupid. And then you have a lot of seniors who say, hey, I paid into this Medicare system my whole life. I'm 70 years old. I've been paying into it since I was 18 or 17 or even 16. And this is supposed to be here for me. And now these people are just going to show up and just get it for free. Somebody who's 19 years old. Okay, we got a phone call coming in. Please hold on. Hello, Effie Real. This is Carl with Carl's Opinion. You're on live. How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Carl. Hi, Chat. I was, well, I'm doing better. Yeah, better. That's the best word I can use for today. I ate food.
Good.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What did you say you had? You had some kind of stomach virus or something?
Yeah, not 100% sure if it was a virus or a bacterium, but it was a bug for sure, and it tried to take me down. Well, it did take me down. I kind of feel like a wimp about it.
Well, no, don't feel like a wimp. I mean, shit happens, So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
no, those are bad. Those are bad because the only way to get it out of you is you have to go to the bathroom, a lot. So.
Yeah, it was not a pretty picture in the bathroom this week.
Well, like I had a jury trial years ago coming up, and I was in the office, getting ready for it. It's kind of a funny story. And so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I feel nauseous. So I go into the bathroom and I throw up. And I could go home, but I got a nice bathroom at the office. I figured, well, I can walk. It's actually easier for me to walk to the bathroom in the office. It's smaller than my house, so I figured, okay, I'll just go back to work. And then I'm sitting there again and like, bleh, throw up again, And I'm like, well, yeah, I could go home, but again, I got this nice bathroom here anyway, so who cares? So I go back, sit down. Secretary says to me, you do that one more time, I'm going to make sure you get the hell out of here and go home. So anyway, so I said, whatever. So I go in. Now this time, I forgot how it worked, but, oh yeah. So this time it came out of both ends. And it was a really nice suit that I used to own, and I don't own it anymore. And I didn't have an extra pair of pants in the office. For some reason, I usually do, but I didn't. So I had to wrap my jacket around my waist, and yeah, it was funny. But the trick was, I didn't take any of that Imodium D or anything. So because I knew I had that trial the next day, and I knew I had to get it out of me. So I just went home, sat down on the toilet with a can of ginger ale, and just let it happen. And by the next day, I was able to do the trial. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah. Fun.
Your
Good
fans
times.
in your chat are like, oh, my God, too much information.
Uh, well, hey, it's life. Life is real. We're Trump supporters. We keep it 100. Keep it at 100. So. But
Oh,
well,
my
I'm
goodness.
glad
I
you're
see
feeling
that
better.
kind
So
of
you're actually able to eat though, huh?
Well, today, yeah, I had soup today, so I'm feeling a little braver. But
Yeah.
it's been about 5 days now. So. But
Wow.
yeah, that kind of talk doesn't bother me. I mean, I have a special needs son, and I've pretty much done everything, dealing with nursing.
Right.
So none of that bothers me.
No.
I wanted to also say thank you to my new subscribers in the chat tonight, because a lot of people, I was over at Forbidden Information's live chat, and I got a few people, she actually shouted me out, and so did
Oh.
the Great Douchebag, and so it was really kind of them to do that. So now I'm really motivated to put up some of my own videos, of course, when I'm not green anymore.
Right. Well, I don't know.
So
I
I
don't know if
wanted
you
to say
were.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. Thanks to all of them. Forbidden, douchebag, and who was the other one? Somebody else you said? I thought.
I was in Forbidden Information's chat, and
Okay. Yeah.
she also said something. Yeah. So also I have a story out of Florida, because I'm your Florida connection, and
Yeah.
I
Got it.
wanted to ask your opinion, because
Yeah.
this is Carl's opinion.
Yes.
Okay, so you know how a lot of cities and states are doing sanctuary city laws and things like that.
Right.
So this story popped up on my local, state news, and I got a little nervous because it said DeSantis could get sanctuary city enforcement role.
Oh,
Well,
DeSantis. Wait,
I'm
DeSantis is going
sorry.
to try to. DeSantis is going to try to do some kind of
Yeah,
sanctuary city. Really?
my governor is, and I got scared. Now, wait. That's how I felt. But
Right.
let me read it to you. It's actually good.
Okay.
So here's the story. As Republican lawmakers seek to ban so-called sanctuary cities, Governor DeSantis is trying to make sure legislation will give him power to take action against officials who do not cooperate with federal immigration authorities.
Oh, okay.
So he said a sanctuary city bill is one of the governor's top priorities during this year's legislative session. The Senate is expected Thursday to take up its version of a sanctuary city bill and consider an amendment that says the governor, quote, may initiate judicial proceedings in the name of the state, unquote, against local or state officials who do not cooperate with enforcing immigration laws. So,
Yeah,
what
that's
is your
good.
opinion?
They have that law. They have that law in Texas.
Because they are debating now. The article goes on, and people are debating in the Senate and the House, and my state Senate and House. I mean, they're debating whether or not he has the authority to enforce federal laws like that. So, what is your opinion? If we do an overlay law, so it's not really the same thing.
Yeah, well, I know they passed a law like that in Texas. In fact, there was a story on immigrationreform.com, which I looked at earlier, and I was going to punch up here for tonight, in fact, where the city of San Antonio is getting sued by the Attorney General for the state of Texas for failing to abide by their law, which says you have to cooperate with federal law enforcement. So, and basically, you're not like arresting anybody, but like I think, when they wrote the law in Texas, they made sure that it wasn't going to get challenged. Well, it was going to get challenged, but they made sure they were going to win on it. So I think, I'm not sure, but I think their law only requires notification, the mandatory notification. I don't think they necessarily have to hold them, or they don't have to like arrest somebody for violating federal law. But if they have somebody in their custody and ICE says, hey, hold these guys, and we don't have time for a warrant, because that's what they say in like California stuff, I think that if you let them go, then it's a violation of state law. Now, as far as I know, that law is still in effect. I know it's still in effect in Texas, because state of Texas is actually suing the city of San Antonio they released like 30, the sheriff there released 30 illegals without notifying ICE, or if they did notify ICE, they didn't hold them pursuant to an ICE request. And so they're actually getting sued, and the story was talking about how it's going to cost the city about $1 million in attorney's fees, because this case is going to go on for like a year or two. So they can't go down and lock anybody up, but they can sue them and then make them, pay out money for attorney's fees, and then if they get a judgment, then make them pay, reimburse the state of Texas and for the costs and everything else. So that's actually happening right now in Texas.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, I wonder if I can find that story. Go ahead. Let me see while you're talking, let me see if I can find that story.
Sure. Well, Florida is a lot like a lot of big states where you have larger cities and larger municipalities that have really leftist control. And then you have the vast majority of the state that is more conservative. And the governor, and thankfully, we've been in a good place where the governorship has at least gone to the Republicans lately a lot, or most of my lifetime. And so we have some general sensibility at our state level. But I was just, but I know that people are concerned that Miami and Orlando and maybe St. Pete, where there's a large stronghold of, because they're big cities.
Right.
Tampa, that sort of thing, that they might start this sanctuary city nonsense, just to be in with the cool kids, So we have a real immigration situation in Florida long before the whole border thing, because we have people coming here by boat and.
Right. Yeah. I mean, cars with rubber rafts around them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing, and it's a tragic thing. But we do have a lot of people funneling in from South America as well. I don't exactly know how they get here. Maybe they pass through Texas first, but we do have a lot of people from Central and South America here. I've noticed lately quite a few communities of people. And it's, which is fine if they're legal, but I don't think that they are mostly, to be honest, based on the sort of work that they do. Like your general labor, and my brother's in construction, so I know where he finds people. I know where back in the day, right. I don't think he does anymore.
Yeah.
But you go to Office Depot with your truck and say, who needs work? And they jump in the back of the truck, and that's how that works.
Yeah, you see them lined up, sitting outside Home Depot and stuff. Yeah, Home Depot. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You see them lined up out there in the morning. They're there all day. And, people come by, mainly to do repair. Like if you buy something, you got to, build a fence. Then you go talk to these guys.
Yeah.
I've never heard of, I don't know, have you ever heard of anybody getting robbed by these? Have you ever heard anybody getting robbed by these guys? Like when they hire them? Has that ever happened? Because I've never heard of it out here.
No. You mean the workers?
Yeah,
robbing?
The workers that hang out there. Yeah.
One problem that we do have here is people robbing lawn care workers. So what happens
the guys
is
who are actually
the
doing
lawn
work.
care guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happens is the guy's got a little business. He's got his truck with his name on it. He's got his equipment. He goes and does a job. He's mowing some grass, so you can't hear anything. He's got his ear protection on. Right. And then one of these little guys will run up in the back of his truck and steal all of his equipment, so that they can do their,
do their stuff. But I mean, you've never heard of people who grab a few of these guys to go build a fence for them after they buy the stuff. You ever heard of any of them getting robbed? The people who hire these guys?
No.
Robbed by these guys? Yeah, that's funny. I've never heard of that, too.
No, not
at all. No. I've never heard that either. It's just kind of funny, But, I mean, the only thing... they are looking for work. I mean, I mean, I don't want to build my neighbor's fence.
Yeah. Those are the guys I have the least problem with as far as immigration. If they're illegal, at least they're trying to work. They're not trying to just live off the system. So
yeah, I was talking to this one guy about that, and I said, it's tempting when they come across, and there's a bunch of leftists there, and they're handing them free stuff. Kind of like remember Dinesh D'Souza's movie, how he showed like how the immigrants came off the boat and the Democrats grabbed them and they set him up in housing and got him a job. But then when it came to the boat, they banging on the door and grabbing the guy and the husband. I mean, the guy and the wife. Remember that? Well, that's kind of like what's going on now. And so, you know, when they come across, they get hit by these leftists and these charitable organizations, if you will. And you know, oh, who's this guy? Hold on a second. Let me just see who Links took care of here. Who's this? Y'all lost the word to Vinton. Oh, okay. Well, this guy can just go. There we go. Hold on. Oh, she already hit him. Okay.
I think.
All right. Sorry. Wait, hold it. Shout out to Links. Wait, hold that. Shout out. Shout out. 2 mods. There we go. Yay. All right. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh, no problem. I took you off speaker because I kept interrupting you too accidentally. I'm sorry about that. Wasn't it Thomas Sowell who said something like you cannot have a welfare state and open immigration or something like?
It was
Thomas Sowell who said that.
No, the
Milton Friedman.
Thank you. Yes, he said you can have open borders, but you can't have a safety social net if you do. And because he said, because the kind of if you don't have a social safety net, open the borders all you want, because the only people coming over here are people who know that if they don't work, they don't eat. Now, I mean, the criminals come across too. If you don't steal, you don't eat, I guess. But he said the only people going to get coming over are the people like in the 1800s and early 1900s. There was no social safety net. And they came over and they had to get a job. There's a few charitable organizations that help them out, some churches and stuff, but they had to go to work right away. My grandfather, he worked on the docks as a longshoreman. That was hard work back in those days. It wasn't like the big cranes of today. I mean, these guys were like, Marlon Brando, down there in the ship, throwing the bags of stuff, up on the lift. So, but if you have a social safety net and you have open borders, and then people come over and say, and that's what I'm saying. It's real tempting when they come across these leftists are there like Santa Claus, saying, "Hey, here's some free shit," and the people are like, "Hey, I am hungry, and I am thirsty, and boy, I've been wandering through Mexico for the last 2 weeks. I could do the nice bed and a hot shower, and some food," and then they give it to them, and they say, "Oh, by the way, you're Democrats now," It's kind of it's just like
part of the machine. It's all they just fit their cogs into place, and that's why I think our governor, thankfully, is trying to get ahead of the game in our state and prevent those machines from being set up here. They're just Democrat factories that they are. But what's even worse, I mean, if you can quantify what's better and what's worse, I suppose, is that the machine produces utterly dependent people, and that ultimately is destructive, and all those wonderful qualities that people tout that people have, and because mostly a lot of these people come from religious backgrounds, and they believe in family and faith and God and keeping the family together and those sorts of things. Well, that'll all be destroyed once they end up part of the Democrat machine in the Democrat world, and they'll find themselves compromised. And I think that as much as I care about our country and patriotism, I also care about the destruction of the human spirit and the family and all of those things that the Democrats are also guilty of. I mean, it's a philosophical question. I mean, it's a chicken and egg, which comes first? Are you a Democrat because you have compromised morality, or do you have compromised morality because you're a Democrat? I'm really not sure sometimes.
It's like, I don't even know. Right. It's like, do you become a Democrat because you have no morals, or do you have no morals and you're I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where it starts first. No, it is kind of weird though that they don't have a sense of right and wrong. It's like there's a word for that. It's like a philosophy where it's all like moral relativism, I guess, where it's all relative.
Yeah.
There is no set foundation. There is no right. There is no wrong. There's just kind of take it as you go, and we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nihilism, pragmatism,
Thank
a few
you.
other isms.
Yes, I knew you'd help me out with that. Appreciate that.
They're all, yeah, but for, in my opinion, they're just symptoms. It's like a lot of people talk about, it's selling out. And once you compromise, once you take the candy, once you get the first free sample, then you become an addict. And you need the pusher. The pusher doesn't have to push anymore. Now you're owned. They own you.
Right.
And then the price gets higher and higher and higher until you're selling your very soul. And that's what I mean. That's how serious I feel that it is for people. Don't take the Democrat candy. They want your soul. That's a bump.
I like that. They'll steal your soul. No.
They'll steal yours.
And they'll try to take your slippers also. Those ruby red slippers. They'll try to take those
and
from
they'll take your puppy. But
no,
I just want to contribute a little bit.
The morality, the morality that they exercise is really strange. I mean, it's like there isn't one,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what to do with that. I really don't.
Well, you can justify anything when the human mind's capable of justifying anything, calling good evil and evil good when it is convenient for themselves. So selfishness is really the ultimate morality, I think. I think socialism is very selfish and envious, and it just there are no good qualities to it because I'm jealous of what they have, so I want to steal from them, plus bring them down to make them pay for my jealousy because I feel they're bad, and that's not good morality. That's selfishness and envy and destructive ultimately to the society. But it all eventually comes back to you, your very soul, because if that's really where you are in your heart, you're bent. You're C.S. Lewis referred to it as bent, that you're a bent soul, and there's just something wrong with you.
Right.
And but the human mind is capable of rationalizing anything. I did this for good reasons, and
Right.
I don't doubt that they believe that in the moment, but I think you can approach people one-on-one and sort of get them to see things sometimes. But even the horrible people that want to kill babies, I mean, they think that they're doing something good. They're convinced they are. It's really a scary thing. It's truly scary. But trying to understand evil when it comes to that level, it just makes your head explode. You just can't. The more you get into trying to understand it, it's just, well, it's like, is it okay? Is this choice? Is this indoctrination? Is this mental illness? Is this a spiritual thing? I mean, and then the answer, I guess, to the question is, does it matter? Because all we can approach as far as dealing with other people is their behavior and and how it affects other people and how it affects you. So it doesn't matter. That's why I think like hate crimes don't matter. We shouldn't have hate crimes because you're just as dead whether they killed you because they hate you, because of what color you are.
No,
or
I mean, if you want to
know.
I totally agree. If you want to have enhancements for like a deadly weapon, that's fine because you want to deter people from using deadly weapons. But to sit there and say, well, okay, well, this is a hate crime, so this is worse, because, you're a certain gender, color, sexual orientation, then, like, if somebody kills, somebody else who's, like, not part of that protected class, well, no. You have laws in the books. You have laws in the books, and then you also have to, just about every law we have, motive is not an element, except for hate crimes. The only time motive is an element.
So here's a question. Can that come full circle? Can somebody sue, say the family of a murder victim, for example? Can they sue if somebody is murdered in their family and it's not a hate crime? Well, why isn't it a hate crime? Because they're a particular color or a particular gender. I mean, I'm just saying, I think the hate crime laws are actually discriminatory because it's
Well,
like saying this
actually,
person
the
is
way
more
they're written,
valuable
though,
than
the
that.
way they're written, it doesn't say a specific ethnicity. It says if you
Mm-hmm.
like hurt or kill somebody because of their ethnicity. So, I mean, you can commit hate crime against a straight white man. You know, if you say, "I'm going to kill you because you're a straight white man," and then start, with a knife, you can get prosecuted for a hate crime. The thing is, very rarely do people get prosecuted when the victim is, a white person. They just don't
Yeah,
do it. They have a hard time
they
doing it
just don't.
for whatever reason. I have no idea why. I mean, the statute's pretty clear. It says if you hurt somebody, commit a crime against them, kill somebody because of their ethnicity, then it's a hate crime. And again, the law does not spell out one race or another. It just says based on their ethnicity. Period. And that's the end of it. So, but for whatever reason,
It's
prosecutors just
interesting.
have a hard time prosecuting when the victim is not, a protected class like you'd see like in a Civil Rights Act or something. But even the civil rights laws don't say a specific race either. 42 USC 1983 doesn't mention, the color of somebody's skin. It says if you violate somebody's civil rights based on their race, then it's your violation of civil rights, which you can be prosecuted both in a civil context or in a criminal context.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I
But
find
it's
all of
not
those laws
fairly it's not fairly
strange.
administered. Okay, it's not fairly administered. Straight up. Okay, that's just how
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, that's the issue. And then, but then, how do you prove that? And who can even bring that to light or in any kind of legal way? I mean, it's. But we have evidence in case after case after case where people are not charged with hate crimes when they're actually guilty of the same behavior that is considered to be a hate crime. Should the roles be reversed? But, we know that they're not charged with hate crimes. I mean, I know there are other YouTubers who bring those things to light and, all that. And what I'm interested in is not saying, oh, well, let's just go both ways. I think it's wrong altogether. I think actually, to be honest, I don't think the civil rights laws are at all constitutional. I think the government shouldn't make or perform any actions that are discriminatory. The government, of course, just like the government shouldn't violate your free speech or violate your right to bear arms or any of those things, the government should certainly not discriminate against you for race or gender or ethnicity or whatever other preferences in your life. That you should have the full protection of the U.S. law, of the rights of the American citizen if you're an American citizen, et cetera, and
Right.
protection under the law. And that's what the Constitution used to be all about. But then we started adding laws that controlled how people who are not the government are allowed to interact. Well, I just think if somebody is a hater, don't interact with them, and I think that's where the free market and free speech come in. That I think that if a restaurant in 2019 is blatantly racist against somebody, they're going to lose business and go out of business. That's how we handle that in this country.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand how even any kind of laws about assuming that the government or the court system understand what's going on in somebody's head could be rational laws, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's head. Oh, how where's the line to cross? How racist is it to make it racist? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so how do you know if they hate or don't hate? Most of the time when people use the word hate, they're just projecting anyway. Because they assume that if you disagree with them, that means you hate them. So it's nonsensical laws, and I don't know. I think we're kind of over the cliff on that one. I don't think we can, draw back.
No, there's no going back. There's no going back. No, I mean, who's going to stand up and say, "Hey, we need to get rid of these laws"? Yeah, no way. They'll be butchered completely on mainstream media. They're really like standing up and saying that's almost like standing up and saying, "Hey, we should lower the age of consent." Wait, they're actually saying that. That's kind of weird. Yeah, they're kind of weird people.
Yeah. Oh, it's like because they're equating those laws with saying we're pro-racism or sexism or something, but that's not what it is. But that's because the media controls the narrative. So the whole So I'm too sick to be like thinking straight, but it's too frustrating for me right now. Yes, in the media, somebody would be slaughtered for having that opinion. Um, but it's still true. Um, the government shouldn't be telling people how they can interact. It's really unconstitutional, I think. It's a violation of free speech. And if somebody, even, the worst side of that, wants to be, a hater and hold a KKK rally or a New Black Panther Party rally or whatever, let them be them, but just don't associate with them. Those kind of
you're
people
allowed
are
to mock them
marginalized.
too. You can make fun of them.
Natural.
You can make fun of them. You know.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
do that.
we generally all make
And,
fun of those people. I remember watching Charlottesville. I made a lot of fun of a lot of those people. Not so much the people on the day of, but the night before with the tiki tortures. You know, and I was writing all kinds of comments on that. And the channel I was on, I was pretty much really going after him pretty good. But I tell you what, let me let you go because I'm gonna let you go, Effie, because I got
information. Oh.
yeah, I got forbidden information in the queue in the video call, and I'm gonna go ahead and put her on.
Yep, that's what I was just saying.
And
Forbidden information wants to video call you.
Right.
So I will talk to you another time.
Well, Miss Effie, thank
Good
you so
night,
much.
everybody.
And next time you want to do a video call, you know how to do it. So just zap it in. All right, young lady, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. And that was the great Effie Real, and always a great phone call and great video call and stuff. And let's get forbidden information up here. All right, so hold on. There we go. Hey, forbidden, let me get you up here real quick. Okay. There we go. Boom. Boom. Hey, forbidden, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Very good. Okay, do me a favor. Just count to 5 real quick.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, great. Okay, audio's going out. I can hear. I just want to make sure everybody else could. Hey, so what are you up to tonight?
Oh, not much. Just reading some emails, shooting out some emails to congressmen and senators, trying to figure out what hotel I want to stay at, and how much it's going to cost, and doing all that great stuff. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, no, D.C. is expensive. That's one thing about D.C.
Well, especially for me, because I don't want to drive with the epilepsy. I mean, I'm told I can drive. I haven't really had any grand mal seizures, but I don't want to risk it because you never know.
No.
I want to be in walking distance, especially this my first trip. When I'm going without my husband and family, so I have to be safe too.
Yeah, that's kind of important. So like nobody's going with you, just going by yourself.
Nobody in my family, no. I hope other patriots will join me and meet me in D.C., but no one in my family. My family will be joining me when I go the second time in D.C. That's just for fun, though.
Okay.
Because Trump's having a big parade, for 4th of July.
So
it's going to be really cool.
Well, is it going to be the military parade, or what's it going to be?
I don't know if it's so much a military parade. I don't know really the aspects of it. All I know is he said you want to be there, so really good fireworks show and everything, and I want to be in D.C., so.
Oh, wait, forbidden. Hold on, I'm about to change over keyboards, and it's going to go bling, so you might want to pull your headset away from your ear for a sec. There you go. Okay, you're good. Okay. There you go. All right, thanks. Yeah, I wanted to save you that. It's not so bad going out, but in right here. Yeah, in right here would have been not good.
I got to knock on a lot of doors, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's some Republicans that are not doing their job.
Well, we got those rhinos in there. Unfortunately, Romney's kind of leading the group there. So
yeah, he's like the wolf leading the pack. I know.
Yeah, we all knew he was going to be like that, but we needed that vote count in the Senate. We needed that extra Republican Senate vote, and unfortunately, that's what we got. So
yeah,
but we're kind of stuck on that. Let's see. Let me get your name up here real quick.
I think it's just horrible, guys, what the Democrats are doing. Now they're saying they want 16-year-olds to vote. Now they want all these illegal immigrants to vote. And now they want these convicted felons to vote. And now Bernie Sanders brings up, he thinks it's a great idea for even the Boston bomber who is in prison for the rest of his life to be a voter. That blows my mind. they're that low that they're going to that level now.
Yeah, no,
The
that's
Boston
kind of crazy.
bomber? That
Yeah,
is
no,
crazy.
no. In
A
fact,
serial
I saw
rapist.
part of that town hall, and it seemed like they were all competing with each other because it's like, well, should we have felons vote? Yeah, and then it's like, well, then the person in the audience goes, well, how about the Boston bomber? And it's like, well, like they feel like they had to one up themselves, like, yeah, that sounds good, and then they get to Kamala Harris, and then she's like, yeah, well, felons should vote. It's like, are you people stupid? The American people are not going to go for this. They're just not going to.
Yeah.
But no, that town hall was pretty unbelievable. It was actually
I
pretty.
asked myself watching it. I didn't want to, but I had to because I was like, is this America? Is this America right now? Even Brett Baer was like, oh, getting uncomfortable with it because it's just I couldn't believe the stuff that came out of his mouth.
Yeah,
And
it is
young people are
America.
so
No,
naive, Carl, but
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
realize it.
yeah. It is America. Um,
Hmm.
oh, what's going on here?
Well,
Hold on.
you know what I mean. The
Right.
young kids are so gullible and naive that they don't even realize what he's doing and what he could do to our country. You
Right.
know, because young kids at that age, they only think about themselves. Really, I mean, it's the truth. They're young kids. We did our too when we were young. This
Yeah.
generation today is all about entitlement, and not like it was back in the day where you worked for it, you earn it.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy.
No, it's a really sad situation right now. But it is kind of funny watching the Democrats kind of like self implode because
Hmm.
they're taking positions that again maybe this is good for the Democratic primary voters. Like they're all behind this, and the Justice Democrats are all behind this, and the Just Democrats just came out and said they're totally against Joe Biden running. And I was talking to a liberal friend of mine today, he's a younger guy, he's in his 30s, and he was saying, yeah, he's totally against Joe Biden running. But I mean, Joe Biden probably, I mean, he wouldn't win, but he'd at least give it a good shot, and he'd have the best chance of getting like right leaning, middle, center of the road independents. But even he's kind of having to go kind of far to the left. He had to do that stupid speech about Charlottesville.
Hmm.
And like I thought he was going to come in and try to be a uniter. And the first thing out he does is start talking about Charlottesville because he knows he's weak with the black vote. He knows he
Yeah.
has a problem with the black community and getting their votes, especially when you got Kamala Harris and Cory Booker against you. So he
Hmm.
goes right to the left on the issue too, and he's been talking about European culture is bad. Actually he said white European jurisprudence is bad. White jurisprudence, European jurisprudence is bad. Yeah, I don't think so. It's been doing pretty good here for the last
He's
like six, seven
crazy.
hundred years. So,
Right.
but
But
even he's having to go to the left because he knows
hmm
he's a little weak with the left and a little weak with the black vote. But I think a lot of the donors that sent him money are probably figuring he'll be able to pivot back to the center pretty easily if he did get the nomination.
Yeah. I think who it's going to be is really what I see. It's going to be Donald Trump. It's going to be Camille Harris, and she's going to pick Cory Booker as a vice president. You watch.
Well, I think early on I said my money was on Kamala Harris, but it's like the more
Yeah.
I hear from her, I I start doubting myself because I keep thinking she's not as smart as I thought she was. I even
Hmm.
mentioned that the other night on my call-in show was I I'm not sure how bright she is. I thought she was pretty bright, but the more I hear her speak, the dumber I think she is. And
Exactly.
so I so I feel kind of bad that I predicted she'd win the Democratic nomination because I'm thinking like, oh geez, she's kind of a dummy. But then again, I look at the
She's
rest of the pack. I mean,
she's
she's
yeah.
no more
She's
dumb
ignorant too.
than everybody else, I guess.
Hmm.
So I still could be right.
Very ignorant.
Well,
Very,
no,
very, very ignorant.
it's not so much ignorance. It's just the way she speaks about things. It's like somebody who I don't know, like maybe if you were like a sophomore in high school, she
Hmm.
speaks like that, you know, or even like the people who went to college or law school and graduate school. It's like a sophomore in college. It's like not someone you think who went through 4 years of college, 3 years of law school, been practicing law for 25 years. It's
Yeah.
just the way she discusses issues. I don't know,
Well, not.
sounds kind of
She's.
retarded.
I don't like the woman.
Well, I mean,
So
I
I
don't
don't.
have to like, I don't judge candidates if I like them or not. Like when they're on the other side, I I try to figure out, if they can win and how tough of an opponent they're going to be.
Right.
So I thought she was going to be a good opponent in that it would be a good fight. But every time she speaks, I kind of lose faith in my own prediction that she's going, that she was going to make it a good fight. But if she won, I wonder who she would pick. I don't think she could pick Cory Booker. I don't think she could pick him. Well, first of all, I don't think she likes him. I think she thinks he's even dumber than she is.
Huh.
I am Spartacus. All that kind of ridiculous stuff.
Yeah. I do not like Cory Booker at all. He went off on Brett Kavanaugh. I'll never forget what he did and said to him. I don't know the exact words. I'll have to watch the video. But the reaction watching poor Brett Kavanaugh's wife, I ended up crying because I felt bad for her that she had to sit through that and listen to that. Yeah. And that was just wrong.
Well, it was just a railroad job. I mean, look, they were pissed off about the what's his name? God, I forgot his name already. The guy Obama put up for Supreme Court. I mean, maybe somebody in the chat knows. I can't remember his name.
Brain fart.
Robert? The guy they put up, and then they wouldn't even hold a vote on him because they said it was like last year of Obama's administration. They weren't going to vote on him, so they were really still pissed off about that. They really didn't want to have to do a vote, but they couldn't stop it from going forward. So they were just going to make it as ugly and disgusting as they possibly could, and they succeeded.
Yeah. And here's the question, too, before I go, because I know other people want to call in. I want to ask a big question. Where is Ruth Ginsburg? Where is Ruth? Anybody know?
Probably laying low. I mean, has she been at the Supreme Court?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. All I've heard is that she received one of the top-notch treatments that anybody could ask for. Like, seriously. Like,
yeah.
Cancer, uncle died, cancer, and I guess all of pancreas and stuff. Liver into her lungs. I want to know how she's still here. Is she like? No, I can't.
You're skipping out a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go because I have no idea why this connection's doing that. It was doing it earlier, but I love you. But think about it tonight. Where's Ruth? Ask yourself that.
I will do that.
All right, guys. I love you.
All right. Thank you for Forbidden Information. Yeah, definitely check out. If you haven't already, please check out our channel. And Forbidden, go ahead and put a link in the chat room to your site. All right. Have a good one. And that was the great Forbidden Information. And let me zap myself back over here. And we got a phone call coming in. We got, looks like Texas Arin. Hey, Texas RN, you're on with Carl's Opinion. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion.
Hey.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl's
Opinion.
Hey, everybody.
Hold on. This is Carl from Carl's Opinion.
Oh, yes. Hey, Carl, there's an overlap. Should I take myself off speaker? Because it's like I heard you say it again.
No. I was being a goofball.
Oh, Carl. Oh, my goodness. The notorious CO. Okay. Let's see. Ski Tananya. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. The last thing that was stated was about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I kind of think, I don't know how they would continue to go on with this kind of a hoax. I don't know if she's alive or not. I kind of think she's not, but I don't know if they could keep tricking us because that tape that they showed, that they let us listen to, they said that was kind of, they could tell that the voice came in again of someone else, so that was edited, that was fake. That's one thing, to try to show proof of life or something for her. But when Fox News had that
proof of life
slide of her,
terrible.
Yeah, the slide of her with her birth and death, I think that someone on the inside knew that the Democrats were going to try to lie and, to keep her, alive or something. But I think that was done on purpose. And then Lions Republic said that he looked in the Chicago obituary. She was there with her husband's name too, preceding her in death. So that's a weird one. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But anyway, the caller before was asking about, are the Democrats, I think is the best way I could say it, is were they made or did they become this way because of becoming going into the...
Effie Real, yeah. Yeah, she's been on.
Pardon?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Effie Real.
that was. I think I kind of have an answer for it, and this is what Ben Franklin said. And if you go back to his Constitutional Convention speech in 1787, I listened to it as it was being read. Someone narrated it, but I tell you, it explains so much of what's happening now. Basically, without a constitution, without some of the checks and balances, what you were going to get, instead of having a republic, what you would get are people who are power hungry, and they will make other people. In other words, you make the coffers of princes rich. You get people who are just really power hungry, and their power can't be satiated. I guess that's the word. They just want more and more, and then people will be voting for them. They just become slave to them. So I mean, it was everything. And he talked about, we really need to, our founding is in God, and we need, the foundation. If it's not strong, God didn't help you, it can't be. But it was really amazing. So I think that the way it's set up now with the Democrats and all these programs, I think they're just scams. Everything is a big scam. And then they also help their friends. They help other people, and that's what his speech also stated. So it really just applies to today. But it's called, if you want to look at it on YouTube, it's called Ben Franklin's Warning. And it's just a 4-minute, 50-something second little speech, and it's powerful.
So you actually think that resonates today, exactly what he was saying, as far as where we are right now? Did he say what he thought?
How much it does.
Did he say what he thought the cause would be, and what the solution might be?
I think the cause would be, if you're not careful, I guess it was like, that's a good question. I'm thinking it was not having a constitution. It was that he didn't agree with everything in the Constitution, but the Constitution was good. So that you need this Constitution. Because if you didn't have it, that's what I'm thinking when I thought last time I listened to it. That would be because it's going on now, and so to fix it, you just got to clean out these people. But again, when you have everybody on both sides were doing it, and other people were just probably too afraid. But now that someone has come in and just busted it open, a lot of things we didn't even know were going on. So now Americans are like digging for more information, and we won't settle for, just the status quo. Like when they have I guess what's considered a false flag or something looks suspicious, we go and we look it up, because now we kind of have the eyes to look at the games they've been playing. They've been running the same games. It was just easier when no one else was putting a big spotlight on it.
Right. Well.
Yeah. And go ahead.
No. I was going to say something, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Did you remember what you were going to say?
I'm saying. So in other words, you think the scam has always been going on from, say, even Ben Franklin's time. It's just that we're able to see it more because of things like, TV, and then news, and then now social media, that kind of stuff.
I'm thinking yes, but I can't imagine he would have ever thought it would be this bad. Because I'm thinking making princes rich, I don't think he had any idea of what it was, for Dianne Feinstein worth $94 million,
Right.
But what's it, Maxine Waters. But again, it's kind of like sometimes these offices draw people who who just want power. But that's why I think it used to be you were a servant to your country. But now it's like, my goodness, these people go into it because they're corrupt. Some people, I think a corrupt mind can go anywhere and corrupt and find something to take. So yeah. But I think that now we're all aware of it, and this was just the right time, the right person. And this has been I think it's been in the works for a long time. So everything that we see happening, I think they expected it to happen and this is why the certain people are in place, and he changes people out. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. This was a big sting operation, and I believe it. I believe it to the bottom of my heart. This was a big sting operation.
Well,
to take our country back.
Well, no, you got to remember. I mean, we've had these issues. I mean, even before we were around. I mean, like I'm talking going back to antiquity, where you had the debate. I mean, you had a debate back in antiquity between whether someone was a tyrant or just a despot. In other words, were they somebody who just took their power illegally? Let's see. In fact, I just pulled up the definition here. So here we go.
Okay.
So, tyrant is a ruler who has unlimited power over other people and uses it unfairly and cruelly. A despot is a person, especially a ruler, who has unlimited power over other people and often uses it unfairly and cruelly. So, in other words, there were like two things. One, you could come to power, in a bad way, and you took over.
Yeah.
And there's another way that sometimes, they ruled okay, and they were good. But then you have somebody who's just straight out tyrants, and they were just cruel. Period. So I mean, we've been debating this in antiquity, going back to the days of the Greeks and the Romans and everything else. So it's not like this is something new for us. I mean, people are human nature is human nature.
It's not. Well, I tell you, what I would say is, it's. Because these roots go so deeply. I mean, it's international. It's pretty disgusting, some of the stuff that's being found out. But you're right. But I just think that I think this has been on a scale one of the worst. And I guess I would say this is pretty. This is our version of what people go through that they see regularly in countries where you expect that. Here, this was shocking. I mean, because you literally have people who are they're anti-American. And that's just, I mean, they are dead set against this country. And I believe that they've been put in place just for that. Even like, I think you were saying like about Kamala Harris. I'm surprised she's even in a position, even Cory Booker, even to run, even Joe Biden, because again, but it's showing just how I'm kind of jumped around a little bit, but
no, go ahead.
What
I don't understand what you're saying is you don't see how say Harris, Booker, and Biden are in a position to even run,
right?
Yeah, that I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean.
Okay, let me say this. I guess because, let's say, well, I guess then Trump probably wouldn't have been in a position, but let me see, how should I put it? I guess maybe it's kind of personal, but to me, I feel like I know when it comes to Kamala Harris, I mean, she went to I guess an HBCU, Howard University, and she became a member of her sorority. But she lied about the Tupac and stuff, and her dad even kind of just avowed that comment. He was ashamed of it. So again, I don't know who she is, who she's running as. Who is she? She's anti-American, but she's pretending she's taking on this whole, first of all, she's black, but she's really not, and that's okay. But my thing is, I'm feeling like a lot of these people are put in positions where they're like, they've gone to a black university, or they, say they're black, but they're not. And then black people, because black people see a skin color, and they fall for it and are being duped. I see straight through Kamala Harris.
Well, no, I mean, no. If see, like, I go on O'Shea.
She is dumb. She's dumb.
Yeah, no, she is. Okay,
okay,
now,
sorry.
I go on O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel all the time. In fact, he even made me a moderator on his blogcast channel, and I think the other one too. I'm not sure, the main channel. But that's a big debate. There was a huge. He had a great. Sunday.
I told you why I think that, Carl. You know me, and I'll have to say.
Well, no, it's a man show. You're not welcome. It's a man show. Men go there. Okay, women stay away.
I know, but I know why they are against her, and it's pretty simple why they're against Kamala.
Why?
It just comes down to one thing. If she, and I won't go through that here. Oh, should I? No, I'm joking. No, but let's see. What else do I want to say, Carl? I wrote a couple of things down. Yeah, I'm sorry with this stuff.
Well, hey, did you get? Wait, hold it. Did you get your video phone fixed or something? Did you ever get that fixed?
No, I didn't.
Well, go buy a new phone. Go buy a new phone.
I know. Let me explain what. Well, I've been doing agency nursing, and I'm getting ready to. And they've been canceling a lot, so I've been really in a struggle lately.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm looking for the full-time nursing work. Yeah, so I just.
Wait, hold it. The market, hold it. The market right now is really good. So what's going on?
Yeah. So I'll be just for full time because agency I get canceled when it comes to agency.
Well, no. Okay, we're too old to be bouncing around into some agency. You need to get into a hospital.
I know. You're right.
Job.
I know. Because it's not dependable.
I have to tell you this. I have to tell you this. But you know what? I should be like Carl's opinion and life coaching show.
Okay.
Yeah, get settled in somewhere.
No, go ahead. Yes. Huh?
Yeah, get settled in somewhere.
I know.
You just want your independence.
I know.
You just want your independence.
No, actually, I used to be that person. And I bought a house at 26. I sold it. And so now I'm just I've just been floundering a little bit, Yeah. So I just need to get back centered.
Yeah.
So, but and that, So,
well, you gotta, I always find prayer works really well,
You said what does?
Prayer, praying.
Oh, yeah. You're right, Carl.
No, I mean, look, I talk to God
I talk to God
every day.
I certainly agree.
Every day I talk to God, okay? It's the first person I talk to in the morning, the last person I talk to at night. And, it's, we all have a lot of stress, and he's there to say, hey, man, you got a lot of stress. Hey, I'm right here. Like, hello, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
What's up? And then he'll give you some people call it instinct, or some people call it, I don't know, like a sixth sense. But if you listen, now you got to listen. Yeah. You're not even listening to me.
Yeah.
How can you listen to God? You won't even listen to me.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Keep going.
God probably trying to tell you something, and you keep talking, and God's like, "Oh, the hell with this! You're on your own. Go work at the agency. Have a nice day." But no, pray. Look, don't just say, "Oh Lord, please give me something." No, F that. He'll tell you to go F yourself right to your face. No, you ask him for things like being able to focus, for certain qualities that you have, but you ask him help you kind of develop them or use them or put them to the forefront. Things that'll get you centered, like you were saying. So don't just ask him for shit, okay? Because he ain't gonna give it to you, okay? Not even Jesus would. Jesus was like, hey, I'm not giving you a handout. I'm not here to give you a handout. But ask him to help you use your skills and your qualities to the best of your ability, and whatever is getting in your way, what's distracting you, ask him to kind of take that off your shoulders for a few minutes, so you can think about the important things. I don't know. Try that out. It works for me.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Carl.
Hey.
Well, I'll be okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For that. Okay. All right. Well, I'll call back if I think there are a couple of more things I wanted to go over, but I didn't write them down. So, but thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. All righty. Well, have a great night. I'll see you in the chat.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was the great Texas RN, who I'm very happy put her name back to Texas. Well, I don't know. Did she in the chat? In the phone, it comes up Texas RN. Let's see. Oh, she still got that dumbass long name. The Republic, Tea Room, USA, comma, Texas. Ugh. It's like, God, That's a lot. See, that's why you have Texas. That's why you got so many issues. You got your name's too long. You got to shorten it up. You know, so just shorten it up. Texas Arin. Everybody likes it. I like it. It's good. But giving Texas a hard time. It's like, damn, I called in. You give me a hard time. What the hell? Shit. But let's go take a look at the next story. Oh, this one's a good one. I like this one. Okay, hold on. Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Oh, there it is. Boom. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this story. We're just gonna fly in with it. Watch this. Fly in with it. Ooh, that's cool. I know everybody thought that was cool. I think it's cool. But anyway, check this story out. This is really cool. Trump boasts 3.2% economic growth is far higher than the high expectations. Yeah, the expectation was 2.5% first quarter GDP growth, went to 3.2%. See, sometimes the experts aren't always right. So let's take a look at this story because it's a really cool one, and I feel like definitely looking at a cool story. So yeah, 3.2% economic growth. I mean, the economy's, all cylinders are just hitting perfectly right now. So, this is really good. Unemployment still down, way down, lowest levels in history, lowest levels 60 years, whatever. Black unemployment, lowest level ever. Hispanic unemployment, lowest level ever. Women unemployment was lowest level in 50 years, and I think it went down lowest level ever recorded. So, I mean, and then there was even one disabled vets employment, which I didn't even know they even categorized, but they do. And disabled vets unemployment, lowest ever or something I don't know, some crazy number like that. So, see, this is why the Democrats are having a hard time. Normally, if the economy's not doing so good, you could run against the economy. You say, oh, look, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. The economy sucks. Well, the economy's doing really good. So you can't say he's an idiot. Excuse me. Sorry about that. You can't say he's an idiot because if it's now his economy. I mean, you can't say, oh, it's Obama's economy. No, it really. I mean, Obama's economy was heading downward. Okay, 2015 economic growth was 2.2%. 2015, 2.2%. In 2016, his last year in office, it was 1.5%. Okay, this is annual GDP, 1.5. Okay, so it was heading down. Now, after Trump gets elected, not even before he gets inaugurated, and not even when he gets inaugurated, but actually right after he got elected, stock markets start surging, foreign investment, people are bringing money over. I mean, knowing that he's going to be in the White House, and the numbers just start picking up almost immediately. And it wasn't because of anything Obama did from November 9th to, January 19th. Okay, no, it was because it was the expectation of the markets, of the business sector, not just so much the tax cuts. I mean, they knew they'd come eventually, but the deregulation. That's what really, really jump-started everything. And again, these aren't you don't have to be a genius to know these things. I mean, everybody knows this. Just that if you want to have a more centralized government and a more government control of people's lives, which is what President Obama wanted. He wanted a more socialistic, probably just straight up socialistic country where the government ran everything. The government was very top heavy and pretty much controlled the means of production, the means of distribution. Controlled, education, controlled everything. So, anytime he was trying to put together some kind of a centralized economy to that end, and of course, the results were unfortunately predictable. The economy was going to go down, which it actually did. And you had more people on food stamps at the end of his term than you did at the beginning of his term. I mean, that tells you something right there. Lowest rate of home ownership while he was president. I mean, and you got to look at it like this. When he got into office, within that first year, the economy was worse than it had been since the Great Depression. So it should have been, I hate to say it, but easy to bring it back up. I mean, it was at the bottom. It couldn't go any lower. So I mean, he should have had economic growth numbers through the roof. And actually, a couple of quarters, he actually had some big numbers, but that was only because it was down to zero pretty much. And so, yeah, and any little movement was going to pick it up, get good percentage numbers. But then when you see the long-term effects of all his policies, which you see in 2015, he had now been president after 2015 for seven years. January 2016, for 7 years, and then you see him in his eighth year, 2016. You see the long-term result, namely the economic growth goes down to 1.5% annual GDP growth. From 2.2. If anything, it should have been continually upticking. Right on through to Trump getting inaugurated. In fact, if it had been upticking, if he had the kind of growth numbers that Trump had, I hate to say it, but Hillary Clinton could very well have been president, because all Hillary Clinton would have had to do was run on the economy, say, "Look how great it's doing. These are our policies." And then Obama would say, "Yeah, she helped me formulate this plan." Make something stupid up, whatever. But she couldn't run on how great the economy was doing because the numbers weren't there. And when you delved into like, oh, we increased jobs, 100,000 here, 200,000 here. When you look at the numbers and you show that no, 68% of those jobs that he created during his 8 years in office, 68% of those were just living wage jobs. I mean, that's Taco Bell money, okay? That's like, just enough money to literally put a roof out over your head. Basically, no furniture, no nothing. I mean, that's it. And you're eating, top ramen. I mean, that's a living wage job. You can live on your wages, hence the word living wage job. So 68%, which is a huge number of the jobs created under his administration, were just simply living wage jobs. So, I mean, so she really couldn't run on the economy and say how great everything was doing because it wasn't going that great. And now he's in, and now the Democrats face the opposite conundrum, if you will, problem, if you will, that, the economy's doing really good. So they can't go out and talk about the economy. We're going to make it better. Well, anybody with half a brain, and the voters have half a brain, you say, well, it's kind of doing really good right now. And so why are we going to take a chance and change? The old "don't change horses in midstream." Why are we going to take a chance and change and go with what you're saying? Because we know this works because it's working. So why would we stop everything that's going on right now, reverse course, send it over to you, and let you say, "Oh, I can do a better job"? Well, first of all, we don't know that. And I'd rather be safe than sorry. We're liable to put you in. You're going to start getting the Obama numbers in his last 2 years in office. Which again, his last 2 years in office, he should have been going up higher and higher and higher and higher, and increasing job security and home ownership. People should have been be getting off of food stamps, not being able to qualify for food stamps anymore because they're making too much money. What's going on right now during the Trump administration. A 40% increase in small businesses for African Americans from June of 2017 to June of 2018. Well, that's Trump's economy. June of 2017 to June of 2018, 400% increase in the number of black-owned small businesses. Okay, that's not an accident either. Okay, that really happened, and it wasn't by accident. It was because people, the amount of confidence people had, consumers were spending more money, investors were bringing more money into cities and whatever. Then Trump, of course, does his wonderful plan to bring private investment into urban areas, urban cities. It's going to be like $100 billion over 10 years. Basically, it says, okay, look, you go into this like crappy city, and then he told, and the law was written, the states, like the governor, legislature, they choose like so many different opportunity zones, I think is what they call them, in their state. They say, okay, these are depressed areas. Pick out, I don't know what it is, 20, 25. And so those 25 areas, like certain by block, and they actually map it out, like this block, and everything. And they tell a businessman, okay, if you invest here, like you build a factory right there in that inner city where people are like no work, there's no jobs nearby, and you build a city there, you don't have to pay any taxes, and you stay there for 10 years, you don't pay any capital gains taxes, or it's a real reduced number. So it basically says you keep all your profits, which means the main point of this is get these people jobs. So this billionaire, guy who brings the money in, and does a private public partnership arrangement with the localities, the city, the state, the federal government, he's going to make some good money. But the whole point of that is that's his incentive. That's human nature. People want, competing self-interest. This guy's going to want to make some cash. So, but in order to make cash, you have to hire some people to make some stuff. Well, who's he going to hire? Well, the people who live like right around the freaking corner. That's who he's going to hire. Now, these people are all working. Think about what starts happening to the neighborhood. These people have real paychecks. These people don't have EBT cards anymore. Well, these people are going to have to buy stuff. Well, where are they going to buy stuff from? Well, there's not that many stores there. Some of these neighborhoods, they're pretty, pretty crappy. So guess what happens? People say, hey, there's a whole bunch of people there making good money. I bet they could use a grocery store or a department store. And then somebody says, hey, I'm going to build a department store there. And guess what? Now you got construction jobs in that area. Now you got retail jobs in that area. And then you have people being able to go shopping in their own neighborhoods. Again, Michelle Obama and Oprah talked about the food desert in the inner cities. They don't have any grocery stores. They don't have this. They don't have that. Well, here's a good way to get them there. And guess what, Oprah and Michelle? You didn't come up with the idea, did you? You talked a good game, complained about it, but you didn't come up with any solutions. I mean, one solution would have been the two of them, multimillionaires, especially Oprah, and a whole bunch of rich multimillionaire friends who would love to hand the money to do something. They could open a grocery chain and said, hey, we're going to open up in 50 cities across the country, or 25 cities, or, 10 cities. And we're going to open like 3-4 stores in each city. And we're going to put it like in the worst neighborhoods. And it's being called Moe's, like Michelle and Oprah. Moe's. I just thought of that name. I think it's kind of funny. And so, they opened the store. And they could have done that. They could have found tons of investors that would have just thrown money at them. It's like, oh, we love you. Like, find a bunch of rich SJW type liberals. Oh, yeah, this is great. This is wonderful. Here, have some money. Whatever. So they could have done it, but they never did. I mean, I don't know why. I guess it's easier to complain about something. Well, here comes Trump, and he's doing it. Again, these are people going to put money in. But they have to stay for and here's the trick. These businesses have to stay for 10 years. You can't build a factory and split after a year. Well, you can. You can split. Nobody can make you stay, but you don't get any tax benefits out of it. You don't make it. Well, you probably wouldn't make any money. You'd have probably a loss. What do they call it? Pass-through, loss-through, whatever. So you'd be able to write off a loss. But, these guys, they're not over there just to get a write-off. They're there to make some money, and they're told, hey, if you stay there for 10 years, you pay no taxes. Businessmen think past, more than 10 days or 10 months. They think 10 years. They think, okay, what are we doing in 10 years? And plus, these guys generally have kids and family. They always think about what kind of money they're going to leave to their family and stuff. So, a great deal, to bring jobs into the inner city and stuff. So, again, that's a Republican doing it. Well, not even a Republican, Donald Trump. I mean, there's plenty of bad Republicans out there, unfortunately. But, Donald Trump is doing it, And so you can't run against that. Well, what about they come out and say we need prison reform? Well, guess what? He just did it. Okay, can't do that. And then I was watching Anthony Brian Logan's show, I think it was today, and he was saying that as far as like the crime bill, the Clinton crime bill, I think it was Anthony, the Clinton crime bill of 1994. Clinton was president, so he can't introduce the law into the Senate. Well, according to, I'm pretty sure it was Anthony, the person who actually drafted it, sponsored the bill, Joe Biden. Yeah, the law that locked up, people of color at far higher rates than anybody else was written by Joe Biden, who's asking for the black vote to win the Democratic nomination because he's going to need the black vote in the South. If you don't have the black vote in the South, you end up like Bernie Sanders. Okay, you end up because the South has a huge Super Tuesday, I think they still call it. That's a huge vote, and if you don't have it, you're gone. And there's a lot of distrust in the black community with Joe Biden on race. So first, that's why he did that stupid video. Oh, Charlottesville, Charlottesville. Oh my God, it's trying to gin up the black vote. Well, black voters are much more sophisticated than I think he realizes. So. If you think that's going to, like, get them to all go, oh, Joe, forget about everything you've said or done for the last 30 years. This video was really cool. Put some rap music on. If it could be any more insulting, I guess the only thing else you could have done was put some rap video on it and say, hey, look at me, It's like when you go out to try to get the Hispanic vote, you bring a mariachi band. The same thing, But anyway, let's take a look at this economic numbers real quick here. Let me just jump over to this. Okay, hold on here. Boom. There we go. Okay, Trump boasts 3.2% economic growth is far higher than the high expectations. It's see. Hopefully that's going somewhere. Yes, it is. Okay. Responding to strong first quarter economic growth, President Trump said Friday his administration hit another home run. We're knocking it out of the park, the president told reporters after the government announced growth at 3.2%. The numbers are far higher than the high expectations. Economists have had expected gross domestic product to increase by about 2.5% in the first 3 months. Trump proved them wrong. National Association of Manufacturers chief economist Chad Motry said the U.S. performance showed resilience in the face of slowing global growth, the partial government shutdown, trade policy uncertainties, and a strong U.S. dollar. Now, the reason why I like that paragraph right there is because the Fed was looking to raise interest rates again. Well, the numbers came in showing there was a slowing global growth, and they showed that the government shutdown didn't help, and there was trade policy uncertainties with specifically with China. The Fed said, wait, the economy, we may take a downturn. So the funny thing is because they're afraid that we may go into a downturn, they don't want to raise interest rates. Well, they let the economy do what it's supposed to do under Trump, grow. Because they were predicting 2.5, right? And so by them hearing all this bad news saying, we better not raise interest rates, they let the economy do what it's supposed to do. And if they hadn't been if they didn't raise interest rates 4 times in 2018, it would have been much higher, the economic growth. But they're so afraid of inflation, if it gets above 2%, 2%, and I want... Excuse me, and I'm not going to bore you again with that. I went through a pretty detailed reason as far as why it shouldn't be 2%, the cutoff mark, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, so let's continue on with the good news. But yeah, the Fed was so afraid of all these things they just mentioned in this paragraph right here. Let's see. Slowing global growth, partial government shutdown, trade policy uncertainties, and a strong U.S. dollar. Strong U.S. dollar meaning it's harder to sell our goods overseas. So anyway, let's see here. So it goes on to say, this was the strongest first quarter of growth since 2015, he said. The U.S. economy should now expand by around 2.7% in 2019, an improvement from what I might have forecasted prior to this release. The president also noted that inflation is very low. He says this out loud because he wants the Fed to hear. See, the inflation is very low. You don't have to do anything. 1.9% for the 12 months that ended in March. See, again, the Fed has a stupid cutoff at 2% because they're so afraid of inflation from the Jimmy Carter years that they saw it run away on them, and they couldn't get it back under control. So anytime it goes above 2%, it triggers them to want to raise interest rates to slow growth down. But again, this number should be like 4.5, 4.7%, because again, if it grows, like say it grows over 2%, okay, that means demand is exceeding supply. These manufacturers or people selling stuff don't have enough stuff, right? And people are demanding it. So the prices are naturally increasing because more people are bidding on the same item, and so they're willing to pay more to get it. So then you have these people who make stuff, and they say, oh shit, we got all this demand coming in, we got to make some more stuff. Well, just at the time they do that, and what do these manufacturers need when they want to expand plants or expand production or distribution? Well, they need money. Well, they don't have it sitting in the bank. They have to go out and borrow it. Now, here's the problem. The Fed just raised interest rates. So that makes the cost of money more. It costs more to get that money to build the plant. Guess what that does? Now, they pass that increased cost on to the consumers by raising prices even more, which causes inflation to go up even higher. So that's why I'm saying let it go to 4.5, 4.7, because you don't have that initial shock to manufacturers, distributors, et cetera, just at the time when they want to go out and borrow some money to be able to produce more goods to keep up with the supply with the demand. You're zapping them. You're making the cost of the products more because it costs more to borrow the money, which makes the product cost more to the consumer and raises prices. So it's kind of like a stupid policy, and someday it's going to backfire on them. And remember to this day, April 26th, when Carl's opinion said, don't do that. And they did it, and bad things happened. So anyway, again, the president is saying inflation is very low. He's talking to the Fed, not to the American public. 1.9% for 12 months that ended in March. So there you go. All right, the economy is doing great. We're number one in the world. That's probably true. Everybody thinks, oh, China this, China that. Now, remember, we're at 100%. Our national debt is $20 trillion. Our GDP output is $20 trillion. So we're at 100% debt to GDP. China's debt to GDP. Their debt is 150% of their GDP. So, everybody's talking about China this, China that. Just remember, they're in worse shape than we are. Now, he said the gas prices are coming down, but, oh, well, we'll see on that one. But, again, American people, we need to realize, look, when we say we're all in all this in we're all in this together, and where we go one we go all, well, those are nice words, but unless you're willing to put your money where your mouth is, they don't mean shit. Now, here's the deal. If somebody's out there bitching about paying higher gas prices, shut up. Okay, now I'll say it. Shut the fuck up. I'll tell you why. Because we have an oil industry in this country, but we pay our workers more than like $2 a day is what they pay them in Saudi Arabia. So it's very hard for our oil manufacturers to compete against Saudi oil because it's so cheap for them to produce it. So the only way we can afford to actually drill for oil is because we have to pay our people more money, which is a good thing because people don't get paid $2 a day. They can actually have a real wage and a real job. We have to wait. The price of oil has to be higher, okay, for them to make any money. If they're not going to make any money, they're not going to do it, especially if they're going to lose money because they're paying our American workers more money. So we all got to pay a little bit more for gas. So we have an oil industry in this country, and it's not just for the workers who are working in the field, but it's all the industries that surround these cities where these people live, the grocery stores, the shopping malls, the doctors, the engineers, whoever. It's everybody that if you suddenly have 5,000 people making middle class wages, well, those people have to go somewhere to buy stuff and do things. Okay, and that just increases like tertiary industries to the oil industry. So it helps everybody out. Okay, and also from a national security point of view, if we need to get oil fast and we're cut off from the oceans from overseas from getting that oil over here, it's not time to start drilling wells. I mean, you're too late if you're already doing that. I mean, these wells have to be in place, ready to go, ready to pumping out oil right now. So if we need fuel for jet fighters or for tanks or for anything, we have it. We have the industry up and running. So we all need to just, kind of stop bitching about gas prices, realize that we're supporting an American industry. It's like people who shop at Walmart. Well, good for you. Realize every time you buy something from Walmart, I don't care what it is, it's coming from overseas, that's an American job that's gone. So maybe you got a whole shopping, cart full of crap. Well, good for you. But how many Americans lost their jobs because you had to go to Walmart to buy all that crap? Okay, I want you to think about that. Well, I don't have a lot of money. Hey, you know what? Where we go one, we go all. We're all in this together. So if you're going to say those words, make sure they have some meaning. Now, if you're just going to say them and then not take any action or bitch and moan about the wrong things, well then, I don't know what to tell you. You're an idiot. So, or at least a hypocrite, So anyway, remember, where we go one, we go all. Let's see, Carl, when did you say the right man is in office for the task? Yes, definitely. I would definitely say that. We have an awesome president. Yay, definitely. Oh, without a doubt. This guy, he is doing so much better than even I thought he would do. Because, I didn't know I knew he'd do a good job. Let's put it that way. I didn't know he'd do a super great job. I mean, this guy, it's unbelievable. It's just the things he's doing and the way he's doing it. And I'm one of those people, I watch him do something. I was like, oh, I can't believe he did that. And then I realized, oh, it worked. It's like, oh, shit, I can't believe that actually worked. And it did. Even his guys on his economic council, the one guy who used to work at CNBC, that's one of his trade negotiators, I can't remember his name. And he was saying, I'm always, been for free trade and, no tariffs and stuff. And even he, after, now the guy didn't quit or resign and Trump didn't fire him, which says a lot about both men, actually, to be honest with you. But he kind of came around a year, 6, 7, 8 months later and said, yeah, this is kind of working. He goes, I didn't think it would work. Here's all these guys with all these degrees in economics and everything. And they're all saying, well, no, here's these, these numbers, it's not going to work. And John, oh, yeah, it will. Trump's like, I know people. I'm telling you, this will work. And then it works. And they go, shit. Larry Kudlow, that's his name, Larry Kudlow. And they say, and then suddenly, yeah, it actually worked. And then, Larry Kudlow's like, yeah, the thing with China, it's over sure we'd have to really take it on the shorts on that one. And wow, these people are actually at the table with us. They actually want to, make a deal. Because China's taking in the shorts on it. Remember, China's writing, okay, China did not stop exporting stuff to us. They say, okay, you're going to charge us tariffs, we're not going to export. No, of course not. They need the money. Well, again, there's tariffs on a lot of these products, so when they bring it over, they're writing a check. It's like, oh, like you got to write a check first before you let it, get on those trucks and go off to wherever it's going to. So they're writing some checks, and it's filling up the treasury right now. A very, very super underreported story, actually. So yeah, China didn't stop exporting when Trump put those tariffs on. We're not going to. Of course, they kept exporting. So that's even more humorous in my opinion. In Carl's opinion, it's more humorous. There you go. But if anybody wants to call in, the phone number is area code 775-273-8970. And everybody wanted to do a VMix video call like you saw Forbidden Information do, and you appear side by side with me on a video call. And then you get broadcast out to gazillions and gazillions and gazillions of people on YouTube. And you could be a star. A star. You could be famous. Really. I mean it. But yeah. So everybody wants to call in. There was a couple of the stories I had up here. So hold on. Let me just. I don't want to be bouncing around here. Let's see. Where did this go? Oh, here we are. All right. Let me just. Let's see. What's this one do? Cube Zoom. Oh, check that out. Now okay. You gotta admit, that was cool. Okay. That was cool. All right, let me find some of my other stories I got up here real quick. So let's see here. Got them clicked up here. Oh, yeah. This story pissed me off. Yeah, that's how I judge a story, by if it pisses me off or not. So this one pissed me off. All right, so let's just fly this story in. Dope. All right. Secret Foreign Surveillance Court denies more applications. In other words, what they kind of realized they kind of screwed up. Did you like the bumper stick I emailed you? I miss Effie Real. I have not seen the bumper sticker, but I will definitely check it out in a couple of seconds. I believe China tariffs are bringing in around $100 billion. I wanted to ask somebody that question, and it looks like you know. So Jervis 346, thank you very much for the info on that. So I believe China tariffs are bringing in about $100 billion. I didn't know it was that high. That is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, Jervis, if you want to call in, man, call in if you have some good intel on that, good info on it. Love definitely to hear it. But Secret Foreign Surveillance Court denies more applications. So let's take a look to see what's going on with that. All right. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Let me fix this. There we go. FISA Court, caught up in a dispute over Russia probe last year, turned down the most requested since it started publishing data. Yeah, there you go. Washington, a secret surveillance court. Oh, why is that so small? I thought I increased that. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Oh, let's bring it back. There we go. That's better. There, now maybe you can read it. Okay. A secret surveillance court caught in a political maelstrom last year for its role in the investigation of Russian interference in the U.S. election, excuse me, reported an uptick in 2018 in denials of government applications to surveil suspected foreign spies, according to new numbers made public Friday. The court also consulted more frequently with outside advisors, the figures showed. In 2018, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court denied 30 applications in full, 42 in part, that's pretty good, and ordered more than 250 modified, representing the highest number of full denials both in terms of raw numbers and percentage of applications since the court system started publishing data in 2015. Gee, I think they realized they kind of screwed this one up, that when, you can blame AI, and I will, Comey and Rosenstein and McCabe and all those guys who put these things together and gave them to the court. But I'm sorry, I blame the court way more. It sounds like these guys don't even read these damn applications, because if they had read it, there would have been lots of questions. It sounds like they definitely don't even hold hearings. They just I can only guess who these guys are. They're like, I'm taking a guess. They're probably like U.S. District Court judges who live nearby in the area. Or maybe not even nearby, because it sounds like they submit everything ex parte. It doesn't sound like there's a hearing room anywhere. And then, well, it would be ex parte anyway, but I mean, there's no hearing. There's no, the judge doesn't even question what they wrote in their report, in their FISA application. So they're like U.S. District Court judges nearby, and they have to do this like on a rotation, I bet. I bet it's not like you're a FISA court judge. Like, okay, you're a FISA court judge this month, and it rotates around. And look, these guys got full calendars, full dockets. I'm taking a guess on this. And the last thing they want to do is have to waste time over here. So instead of holding a hearing and then hey, what's this little foot like the Carter Page application? Maybe the judge would be like, hey, to his law clerk, hey, what's that little footnote down there? What is that little footnote about some campaign paying for this? The clerk's like, yeah, I don't know. You're like, you know what? Let's hold a hearing on this. It's not like a terrorist. He's not the guy who want to spy on is some terrorist who's got a bomb strapped to him when he's walking through New York City. We got to do something fast. Go call Rod up, call Rosenstein up. Tell him we want him and his people here to explain some of this to us because we don't quite get it. And of course they have to show up. I mean, the judge would be like, tell them to be here in 15 minutes. They're there. So and then they could ask questions. Did they do that in this case? No, they're lazy. Judges can be lazy too. I've dealt with some lazy judges in my career. I mean, and everybody would make fun of them. They knew they were lazy. They didn't read anything. They didn't review anything. Their clerks handled all their caseload. And so basically, you got a judge sitting in front of you with X amount of years of experience, and you got some guy fresh out of law school is telling the judge how he should rule, and the judge, of course, has to believe him because the judge didn't read anything. The judge is going to be lazy. Even FISA Court judges, I guess. I didn't think that was a possibility, but all evidence points that way. The fact that they're now denying applications, that's nice. Where were they, 3 years ago? Okay, that's who they were, sitting around doing nothing, not reading anything, and just signing the damn document. What they do is when they submit the application, they'll submit a proposed order. You type in proposed, and the judge signs it, crosses out proposed. They submit a proposed order. So theoretically, the judge doesn't even have his staff type it up. It just says, "Oh, here," signs it, hands it back to his staff. They make copies, they stamp it, and they give it back to. They call the Department of Justice up. Hey, come get this thing. The judge signed it. That kind of shit. And the fact that they've actually denied 30 applications in full, and that they're the highest number since 2015, and that's just because that's when they started publishing. That shows they know they screwed up. Okay, they know they screwed up, and now they're trying to make it right. Well, okay, that's nice, but a little bit late. This country only went through hell for the last 3 years because of a FISA warrant, going through to begin with. Where if any decent judge would have looked at it for at least 10 minutes and came across that footnote, and you would immediately wanted some questions answered, but that would have meant you're getting off your ass in your chambers, putting on your black robe, going out to a courtroom, waiting for people to show up, and then holding a hearing. You might actually do some work. Gee, how sad. A judge having to work. Go figure. Anyway, the foreign, well, it just goes on to explain that. Okay, well, no big deal there. All right, let me see where we got the next one. Let's see. Some immigration stuff. Let's see. Here we go. This one with the cover. This is from immigrationreform.com. It's a great site. I get notifications on it every time I turn my computer on. So it's definitely worth taking a look at. All right, so the Abolish ICE movement's insanity has reached fever pitch. Yeah, we're in election year. Go figure. By Spencer Raley. Okay. The latest popular crusade of the anti-borders cohort has become to abolish ICE. This rally call really isn't particularly new, as the fringes of the far left have been calling for utterly unrestricted immigration for years now. However, highly visible freshman members of Congress, especially Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, have moved the needle in the Democratic Party far enough that the slogan has now been adopted by most of the front-runners for the 2020 Democratic presidential primary. I know that's crazy. Now Tlaib has taken the rallying cry to an even more extreme, not to mention illogical level, by recommending people go on hunger strikes to try to pressure the federal government into abolishing the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE. I want you all to shut ICE down. We can shut them down. Don't wait for this Congress to act. She declared at a Detroit fundraiser. I know what they're going to say. They'll go, what do you mean, Rashida? Well, I'll tell you. There are some people that are using hunger strikes. The Michigan Democrat is essentially admitting that the open borders lobby cannot convince Congress to abolish ICE in a constitutional manner, so she hopes to create some sort of PR nightmare that scares the federal government into no longer enforcing our immigration laws. Well, depending on who's actually participating in the hunger strike, I think they should just do hunger strikes. What's food anyway? And maybe should just never eat and see how long that lasts. I support that idea. That'd be fine. So, for example, ICE is not only charged with apprehending immigration law violators, they're also responsible for hunting down international criminals and are on the front lines combating sex trafficking in the United States. During the Final Four weekend, a major college basketball tournament in early April, ICE agents arrested 47 people in a child sex trafficking sting and rescued 28 victims. These young girls and boys they rescued from, let's be honest, they rape them until they're too old, and then they can't turn them back loose into society. They'll all get dimed out. So, of course, they kill them. What do they say? Oh, you're free to go now. Oh, and by the way, don't tell anybody. Yeah, right. There's a reason why these people don't get caught a lot. They kill the victim. So, basically what this article is on to say is that, these people are doing a lot of great work, and it's more than just, picking up illegals at the border and everything. So, but yeah, it is getting crazy. I agree with Effie. I agree with Texas. It's really getting crazy out there for the Democrats. Some of the things they're saying, again, it's just really kind of weird. So okay, so yep. But anyway, it's 11:42. We've been on for a little over 2 hours, and so I think I'm going to call the live stream over for the evening. And I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been in the chat room. Thanks to, we had Forbidden Information, we had Texas Arin. Oh, God, I'm going to forget. We had Thomas Kellogg. He called in as our first caller, young kid. Sound like a pretty bright kid. Sound like he's got a good future. He called in. We had some other guy call in, but you saw the zombie while I talked to him. Well, he was kind of a zombie, so I figured it was fitting. The guy I was talking to on the phone, behind the scenes, in the large production studios of Carl's Opinion, we were having that conversation. And I decided not to put him on air because, nope, you're not going to poison my YouTube channel with a bunch of nonsense. What is Jervis right? The Office of the United States Trade Representative today released a list of approximately $200 billion worth of Chinese imports that will be subject to additional tariffs. Oh, man, that is just so freaking cool. That's that's awesome. But, hey, anyway, again, I want to say, and Effie Real, sorry, Effie, I don't know how I forgot you. Effie Real who called in also. And everybody's been in the chat, and everybody's going to be watching later and during the week. So I just want to say, hey, if you like the channel, please subscribe. If you like the video, hit like. And I had a really good time tonight. It was really, really cool. I'm very happy this week is over. It starts up for me again Sunday, unfortunately. But, don't ever feel bad for an attorney. That's what they always say. So, so there you go. But anyway, thanks everybody. I just want everybody to have a great night tonight. And let's see, where am I here? So again, everybody have a great night, and I will talk to you later. We'll see you next time. I'll try to do a live show tomorrow night. I'm going to try to put together some kind of a panel tomorrow night. So if you're interested in doing a panel tomorrow night with me, shoot me an email and just let me know, and then I'll start putting together a list of people I'm going to bring in. So anyway, have a great night, everybody. God bless everybody, and God bless our president. God bless our country. Amen. Take care. Bye-bye.